Hey everyone, this is Zeffy. Hey, what's up everyone? This is Zeffy back for another Kingdom Hearts card review. It's been a little while. We are on actually week 29 in order of broadcast for the Kingdom Hearts card review. And yeah, I'm a day off. It's Tuesday, not Monday. But the reason for that is actually landing a new job recently. So I've been really just distracted or really focused on going to work and kind of taking care of that business. And when I come home at night, I'm actually pretty exhausted, so usually I come home, have my dinner, and kind of just relax and go to sleep. So I haven't really been focusing on some of my other duties or my other commitments. But I'm gonna make sure to still stay on top of the card reviews. I've only been working for about 2 weeks, a little over a week, and when you're not working for a while and you go back, it takes a little while to get used to working, getting up every day at a certain time, and you feel a little exhausted at first, but eventually you get used to it and kind of just, you're like, okay, whatever, and then you have the energy to do other things. So make sure to stay on top of this though. But basically, I'm actually going to go retroactive in this card review and go back all the way to set 1 and talk about a specific card that you may see pop up very often with the new format and new deck types that are going to be hitting the scene. And that card is Barrel Spider, which is a level 3 Dark Heartless card with power 10. Its effect reads Explosion, Fire Effect. If you do not deal at least 1 magic damage during the same action phase in which you defeat this card, you lose -1 HP. Why you would see this pop up a lot more often possibly is because of fill, and a lot of people will be running fill cards to control their opponent from playing any magic cards. And so they would throw especially if they're playing a World Rush or some kind of balance deck, they throw a Barrel Spider down, or a couple of them, and their opponent has no way to defeat it, and they destroy it by other means without magic support. They're going to lose an HP, or they escape and they still lose an HP. So either way, it's a win-win for you. It's going to hinder them no matter what. And if you throw 2 down, sure, they might escape and only lose 1 HP, but it's still a forced escape. They still lose that HP. They're still behind that world card. If it's a level 3 especially, they just lost 3 levels worth of worlds. Even if it's a level 2 or level 1, you're still slowing them down somehow. You're still hindering them and stopping them from achieving their goals. So it's definitely a nice attachment to the control aspect. It really is. I would recommend at least 1 or 2 if you're running some kind of control or aggro, or it's just anything. If you're not running World Rush, even if you are running World Rush, you want to throw it against your opponent if you run fill in your World Rush deck, which may or may not be such a good thing depending on how your deck is formatted. If you work it out so that it's not a problem, then yeah, go ahead, throw it in, and slap fill in the field to hinder them in conjunction with that. And the other nice thing is, even if you don't have fill and it's late game, they may have burned through quite a few magic cards. They may not have any more, or you may suspect that they're not going to draw into them that often from now until like they reshuffle their deck. You could throw a Barrel Spider down. Hopefully they don't have a magic card to get rid of it, and if they don't, then they'll lose the HP. But even if they do, it's okay. But I mean, in the sense that you draw it out, and then if you get it again later on, you could throw 1 down, and hopefully you just eat up their magic cards, because you can know pretty well, like if your opponent goes through like 30 cards out of their deck or 25 or something in that range, and they're running around 40, you can kind of read into like what's on the field and what could be in their hand by just looking through the deck. You can probably estimate how many magic cards they may potentially have left to deal with that Barrel Spider. And if you are very intuitive and you pay attention, you could actually throw a Barrel Spider down and you may actually get it off even without a fill, and then they end up taking an extra -1 HP, which is good for you. And even if they clear it off and put a world down, at least you make that HP gain null and void. You slow them down by 1 HP, and if you're playing Riku with Soul Eater, and even if you're not, if you're running Sora, you're still slowing them down, you're still damaging them. It's still a great card to play. It's still very effective. So don't shy away from this card. The power isn't all that great, but it's really focused on the effect, and it's only a level 3. So you can play very, very early, and you can even play it versus aggro decks that run, like a few level 1 worlds. Especially if you have Jack Skellington at some point, you can throw it down even earlier. But even so, you can annoy them with it and make them at least use a couple resources, to get rid of it and try to avoid the HP loss. Because usually the aggro player or the balance player will have a player card with a few less hit points or heart points than the World Rush player, starting with like 7, 8, potentially, maybe even, like 7 or 8, and then they usually at like 5 or 6 or 4. So definitely to just do everything you can to make them expend resources or to potentially lose an extra HP is going to be helpful in conjunction with Soul Eater and all that. You can potentially destroy them very quickly. And then again, maybe not, but it's still just a good token card to have running around your deck. So keep that in mind, pay attention to it, consider running it, at least 1 or 2. Really in most any deck could probably be very effective. So that's it, guys. I'll see you later.